Having somewhere to go is a blessing, and having someone to love is a family, and having both is truly a blessing. But there are many in this world without either one or the other, or both. And it is to these destitute, the poorest of the poor, that I want to reach out to, with the simple mission to provide selfless care and to offer a dignified life to the least, the last, the lost souls of our society. I was born into a family of 8 siblings, and I was only 6 years when I lost my father. There was this void in me that I was searching and seeking in the things of the world. I fell in love at a very young age. I was only 15, but we remained in love for 11 and a half years. And it was in 1989 that I married the man of my dreams. 5 months later, I was diagnosed with an ovarian cyst. I was operated for that, and then came all the complications. I lost one ovary, and then I had multiple adhesions, and I had surgery after surgery to rectify things. Nothing worked. 5 years passed. We were desperate for a child. So the doctors concluded that I couldn't conceive biologically since I'd lost the function of both my fallopian tubes. So I resorted to what the world could give: artificial insemination 4 times, and then I went in for test tube baby. Everything failed. I was broken inside, and I decided at that point, I have to bring some meaning into my life, make my life worthwhile living. And so music means a lot to me. I roped in like-minded musicians, and we started singing together. We formed a band and we started singing for choirs. We started putting up concerts, shows, and we started raising funds. And this helped me to go to the government hospitals and to reach out to those people who are abandoned there, no money for their medication, nobody to stand by them, nobody to say that they love them or care for them. So I said, I'm going to do it for them, to look after these people who are abandoned in the hospitals. Thus started this little NGO that I started 25 years ago, called White Doves, to give hope to people born to care and born to share. As I was going on like this, I went in for a pregnancy test, and the report came positive. My joy knew no bounds. I ran to the doctor. I showed him my report. He said, "You? Impossible." He had every right to say it because he operated me 5 times. But God did a mighty thing in my life. I was blessed with a baby girl who is 25 years now, and the reason for me to go all out to reach out to the poor, to the least, to the last, to the lost. My joy knew no bounds when I was blessed with a daughter. So I opened up a home for the destitute. I saw a lot of pain, a lot of misery, a lot of people abandoned on the streets, lying aimlessly, no food, no clothes. I said, they are my own brothers and sisters. I need to bring them in. I need to take care of them. And from 2 people, 25 years ago, today we have been able to rehabilitate over 600 people from all over the state of India. I had 2 homes gradually, one for the men, one for the women. And the women's home also had children whom I was educating. So we had over 100 children who lived there and did their graduation, even post-graduation. I saw a lot of hunger on our streets. I have seen people eating garbage. I have seen people eating paper because they couldn't control their hunger. I have seen people eating the waste that was thrown out from the chicken stalls. It moved my heart. When we all eat good food, why do these who live rough on the streets have nothing to eat? So I made up my mind. Let's cook one nutritious meal every day and take it to the streets. So 20 years ago, I started taking 15 to 20 packets of food to the street and distributing it those who are deprived of their basic necessities. In the past 20 years, we feed almost 200 people on a daily basis. We cook a hot meal and we put it into packets and we take it to the street and we feed the hungry. But most residents, the ones we have picked up from the street, are mentally not stable, but they don't know from where they have come or where their home is. That's really sad. We just bring them in. The first thing is we give them a lot of love. We give them a bath. We give them a shave. We give them a haircut. We give them food. And if they need medical help, we move them into the hospitals. We teach them different trades like making envelopes, making floor mats, and we also teach them making paper bags, sewing, so that they can stand on their own feet eventually. The ones who are slightly better help out with cleaning, with looking after the ones who are much weaker, helping them with their bath and their daily needs. This is how it goes on every day at the home. We start the day with prayer, and then we have exercise, then they walk, then they do some house chores, and they have music. We have a little orchestra. We teach them a little bit of music. They watch TV. They help out to pack food for the people on the streets. And this is how the day goes on for these destitute at our home at White Doves. This being the only home, the only kind of home in the city of Mangalore, we are flooded with calls all through the day and night from the police, from the public. Either they are abused, abandoned, driven out of their homes, women being raped. Each one has a very sad story to tell. To quote a few cases, Seema Singh, she had injuries on her body with fresh stitches on it, and all she could say was she was raped and she was thrown on the railway tracks. It took us almost 6 months, and the treatment for her, when she totally recovered, she gave us the address of one of her brothers in UP. We contacted various police stations, and finally we were able to get her brother, who contacted her husband, and the husband came, and once again this family also was reunited. Zarina Khatur was brought one evening by the police because she was found just wandering around with a small bundle of clothes in her hands. And she was very much mentally disturbed, did not know from where she came, what her name was. And we admitted her into hospital. She was under treatment, and 2 years passed. It was just from a couple of weeks that she kept crying every day and begging of me, please send me back to my children. And I'm happy that we were able to contact the police far away in Bihar, and they located her family, her children, and today the son came and took his loving mother back home. When all the work that I intended to do was going on smoothly, I was in for a rude shock. I was diagnosed with 3rd stage breast cancer. 18 of my lymph nodes were positive for cancer. I had to go through mastectomy, reconstruction, 6 rounds of strong chemotherapy, 5 weeks of radiation. I went through a difficult time, and my husband and my daughter stood by me all through this time. I faced the cancer very boldly, but I had a second blow that was waiting, and that was acute hepatitis B. It was in 2010, to the end of the radiation, that I was diagnosed with acute hepatitis B. My liver enzymes were just soaring, and on April 4, 2010, it touched 5,300. I started puking blood, and the doctor said that everything was over, that I wouldn't make it. And my liver enzymes had touched 5,300. I slipped into a coma. My family was storming the heavens. The residents of my destitute home were crying and praying for me. They wanted me back for them. And God did hear their prayer. Miraculously, after 2 days, my liver enzymes that had touched 5,300 dropped down to 700. The doctor said it was a miracle, but they also said it is dangerous because if I was responding, it would come down gradually. There was this time when the world could not give me anything. The medicine had nothing to offer me. The doctors had given up, saying that even if they transplant my liver, I wouldn't make it, I would die on the table. But I think the prayers of the people saved me and brought me back for a purpose. It was after 8 days of being in deep coma that when I came to my conscious state, that I asked my doctor, what happened to me? Who put me here? And the doctor told me that I went the other side and came back. It gave me a shock when I saw that my family had come down and everybody was there. They had all come for the funeral thinking I was going to die. But I was worried only about the destitute that I had in the home. I had 140 destitute in the White Doves home that I was taking care of. And the first thought that came into my mind, I need to do something for them, something in perpetuity. So I went to the bishop and I pleaded with him. The Bishop of Mangalore, please give me land. I need to put up a place for these people. And he was generous and kind enough to give me a beautiful plot of land on which I decided to put up a beautiful, one of its kind, state-of-the-art home for the destitute. We put the foundation for a 200-bed psychiatric nursing destitute home in February 2016. That was my dream. We all live in good homes, and I want these people, the less fortunate brethren of us, to have good homes. Laid the foundation in 2016, was completed this year and inaugurated just last month. Now, the 171 destitute in the home have a beautiful place, enough of space for their exercise, for their recreation, for their activities. The destitute are so happy they have a beautiful home to call their own. Happiness is a part of the life of the once lost souls. The inmates are now a family, and the children, they have a loving home where their education and their all-round development is taken care in all entirety.